how's it going? So I just woke up and I was gifted with an amazing surprise. I woke up to new episodes of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. It's as bad as you would think. So we get a couple of I believe it was the last episode, maybe the episode before that. No, I believe it was the last episode where they go and they do the training exercise at the Starfleet vessel that's kind of just like floating out in space. And then they got invaded by like the half human and like half bat people. And they needed Paul Giamatti to come and basically help them. And then, remember Paul Giamatti tricked them and he was actually working with the bat people, that kind of thing. So, we pick up, and this is basically an episode that's kind of bringing that to a conclusion, I guess. And they bring this lady on board, and they basically tell her that, hey, we need you to give these kids counseling without actually giving them counseling. And it's really bad. And we're sitting there in this classroom these kids are sitting there in this classroom, and she's like, we're gonna do theater. And I'm like, oh no, this can't be good. So, and basically, one of the kids asked what I'm wondering. What does this have to do with being a captain of Starfleet, or, doing something on a captain's brig of one of these ships? And it has absolutely nothing to do with it. They're not going to learn how to shoot guns or fire engines or I can't remember. It's an infamous line from this TV series where she was like, "Revert." They're being shot from behind, and she's all revert all power to the forward shields, and it like they're not gonna learn how to revert all power to forward shields if they're in the wrong moments. If they're doing this theater, so. It's so bad. Like, this show has kind of become intriguing for I'm not a Star Trek fan, so like it's not like old, like it sucks to watch this. This is really bad. It's painful to watch, but it's also like painful, kind of like, how there's like sore and then there's like a hurt sore and then there's like this like I'm sore, but it like kind of feels good in a way, like it's a good sore. No, that's not even the right term, because this isn't a good sore. What would this be? I don't know. I think this is in a new class of its own. It's so bad that it's created. There's no longer the A, B, C, D, E, F. There is now the G here. We have gone A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That is where Star Trek Starfleet Academy falls in, and then it just will continue to fall lower as the seasons go on. And you know what? By the end of it, we might be creating new alphabet letters because it's terrible, but it's intriguing in a way because it's like, how much worse can it get? And man, it keeps getting worse. I don't want to say that I hated this episode as bad as the last one, or the one where they're like following the Sam girl around. That's another part. There's a scene in this. So the Sam chick, the hologram, remember her, the one that's 17 years old but has lived 2 weeks or something like that. They basically, I don't know if she's going to be less annoying now, but because that was kind of their explanation for her being so annoying. It's like, well, she's 17, but she has the personality of a 17-year-old. Or no, she has the personality of like a 3 to 5-year-old, but she's lived like 17 years. It was some stupid shit. And I think they're trying to fix it in this episode, actually, or trying to. Well, it can't be fixing it because it's not like they're filming these as they're coming out and being reviewed. So I don't know what they were doing, but basically they take Sam to this her creator's world, and when she first started glitching, I was like, okay, maybe we're doing something interesting here because, um, for me, the only thing that could be interesting in this show is possibly Sam's creators and what made her and how potentially cool they could be. But knowing the show, they're gonna squash that. They're gonna snatch victory out of the jaws of defeat. Or no, my bad. Snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. It's not like there's any victories with this show, but I was just saying, like, that could have been one. So basically, the Doctor and I forget what her character name is, but her actual name is Holly Hunter. So Holly Hunter and the Doctor guy takes Sam to her world, and basically her creators tell them that they cannot fix her because of the trauma from the previous event of the bat people invading, and basically that she's fucked. And I was like, yes. I was so happy. I was like, oh my god. I was like, we're good. We're actually doing this. Thank you. And then, like, 5 minutes later, I was then punched in the face by a train because they're not doing that. No, they decide to go down the route of, we're going to have the other Doctor, the Doctor hologram, the Doctor character is going to raise Sam here. Because in the way this works is, see, time passes differently there. So conveniently, you get exactly 17 years for every 2 Earth weeks. And so they end up spending 17 years there. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. I was like, could you imagine spending 17 years with that Sam character? Oh, it would be brutal. And then there's also a scene here where the girl comes back from the Professor X lady comes back from wherever she went, her world, and they don't really show that. It would have been kind of cool, but we don't get to see that. So she comes back, and she's no longer a part of the War College. They brought her to Starfleet because the Doctor needs to keep an eye on her, but then immediately leaves. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. But she is drunk one night, and she calls Caleb, and she basically tries sleeping with him. And he says, no, you're drunk. And then she gets mad at him for doing the right thing. It's like this show is trying to be brain dead. And so I don't know anymore. It's hilarious to watch this thing just fall flat on its face every day. Not every day, every week. My bad. I'm falling flat on my face now. It's rubbing off the terrible lines and writing and dialogue. It's rubbing off. It's tripping me up. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna give this I don't know, man. Maybe a 2. It functioned. It ran. It played. There wasn't really anything interesting. Like, I've seen people compare this to the CW. The thing about the CW is, like, at least they're, like, yeah, it's shitty. Like, it's not good writing. It's the most mediocre thing ever. But, like, at least there's action scenes I care about. At least there's things there I do enjoy. This has absolutely nothing. And so, I don't know, like, people have been saying, I don't know who this is for. So, yeah, I'm at a 2 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day, everybody. If you guys could, please leave us a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.